Hello, good evening, and welcome to the EIS in Sheffield. It's the Premier League final. The Sheffield Steelers against the Owls. I'm Daniel Routledge, joined by Joe Ratner. JJ, two best teams in the country going head to head. It's a mouth-watering battle in front of us.
Yeah, we can only hope that they match the junior final that we just saw, Dan. But yeah, these two teams have been slugging it out for this whole season, and well, since time immemorial, it really is the battle of the roses between these two teams, the two most successful teams in British basketball by quite some distance. So yeah, mouth-watering prospect.
Well, we'll get your thoughts in just a moment. Earlier, I managed to catch up with the two coaches to see what they had to think about the game.
Dan, another final for the Owls. You must be tremendously proud of the team.
Yeah, absolutely, Dan. It's been seems a long old slog this season. We've had a lot of injury. We've had people unavailable. It's been a tough season. So to finally get here, this is the last chance for us to get some silverware. We narrowly missed out on the league. We shared our games with Steelers. We lost the first one at home by 5 points, and then beat them at their place by 1. So this is like the series decider. So one, it'll be great to put one over Steelers and win 2-1 in the series, but obviously then we get the playoff trophy as well, so couldn't be better.
And a great performance in the semi-final to get through relatively comfortably.
Yeah, it didn't start out that way, to be honest. It was tough. Titans, we know they're a good team. We know their fight. So it took us a long time to get on top of them. Certainly the first half was close. We just started to get some transition in the second half, and I thought Robin Love came off the bench for us, started making some picks in transition and some good decisions, and she was a game changer, really.
And you say you split your two games against the Steelers this season. That last one in April was a bit of a crazy game.
Well, it was, yeah. I mean, I always felt we were in control of the game, and then we got in a bit of foul trouble, and they pulled out to a 14-point lead, or 12 points anyway, something like that, in the fourth quarter. So to have hauled that back to 1 was great, but of course what we really were trying to do was win by 6 to obtain the league title as well, so it was a bittersweet win, to be honest. Steelers are always a tough team. They've got some quality players, so I think they're they deserve to be league champions, because we subsequently went on and lost a game to Coventry the other week anyway, so that could have cost us the league.
So what's the most important thing, the thing you have to do well to win this game?
I think we've got to avoid turning the ball over. We know that they play high pressure defence, the likes of Harry Brown, absolute pest on defence, so we've got to make sure that we don't turn the ball over. And then when we get into the half court, possibly we won't get that much transition against a really quick team like Steelers, so when we get into the half court game, we need to execute our half court offence more efficiently than we have been doing in the last couple of months.
Well, good luck in the final.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
Well, I was talking to Dan a couple of minutes ago. He said, I can't promise the drama and excitement you saw from the Junior League. He said, I'll take 40-38 if we're on the right side of it. And, well, let's take a look at the league table and see. He mentioned the fact that the Steelers had won the league. 2 very close meetings between the two teams this season, and they have been the class of the Premier Division.
Yeah, by a long way yet again. I think, everybody, all neutrals, always hope for a surprise entry into the top 2, but these two have been slugging out for so long. Never more than 6 points between these two teams in the regular season. Steelers won the first one by 6. Oldham had to beat them by more than 6 in order to go top. They didn't manage it, they only beat them by 2, so they are capable of beating them. So that tells us that perhaps this is this could be a mouth-watering prospect again.
Yeah, a really weird game, the last meeting between them. It was a 1-point game late in the third quarter, and then out of nowhere the Steelers went 15 up with 7 minutes to go, and then just an unbelievable finish by the Owls to win that game from 15 down by 2 in the last 7 minutes of the game. So it just goes to show that momentum is a funny old thing to hang on to. And, well, we'll see which way it shifts back and forth here today. And, of course, these teams met in the final last year as well. And, well, we're hopeful. We have our fingers crossed that it should be a close, hard-fought affair.
Yeah, I think the rosters this year, Dan, are a little bit more even than they were last year. Sheffield now welcome back Ben Fox, number 11. He was out for a period of time from their roster due to some injury and illness, but he's back now and back to his velvety smooth best, so he's going to add nothing but quality to this game. But yeah, both teams are just replete with talent from top to bottom.
And the other thing is they know all about each other. They know about this big stage, so you would imagine that they'll be ready to go right from the opening play.
Yeah, I would have thought so. I mean, there's the quality in these teams is such, and the experience both here and in Europe. A lot of these players individually have played abroad, so they've all played in big games. So, you know, there'll be nerves, but it's nothing that they won't be used to.
And where do you see the differences between these two teams for our viewers at home? What are the key factors we should be looking out for?
Well, for Oldham, I think a lot depends on Martin Edwards, who's, I think, by his own admission, had a bit of a quiet time recently scoring-wise. They'll be relying on Billy Bridge to bring his A-game, because when his A-game is his A-game, he's a fantastic player to watch. And as for Steelers, they'll be relying on Ben Fox and the electric skills of Harry Brown, just bringing the ball up court. Two evenly matched teams. I think the results this season have shown that, so it'd be a hard one to call.
And it's one of those things that if you're at home watching Premier League basketball for the first time, you'll notice that actually some of the top women in GB play in the men's league as well as the women's league.
Well, that's right. For the older males, we have Laurie Williams and Robin Love, two of the absolute very best players in the world in the women's game. And we've just seen now Amy Conroy come out, number 00 for Sheffield Steelers, who's also such a key part of the Great Britain team, who won silver medal at last year's World Championships. What an achievement that was. So it's co-ed, but these guys and girls are at the very top of their game, really.
Well, the Steelers being introduced now to the crowd, and obviously it happens to be in Sheffield, so I'm sure they'll probably have one or two more fans here supporting the Steelers. Like home court advantage for them.
Yeah, you'd have thought so. I mean, Sheffield Steelers have got such a proud legacy in wheelchair basketball in Britain. They're the only team to have won the top tier of European basketball so far, the only British team to have won it in all these years. And, you know, they've got a fantastic legacy going.
And right now we're just going to have a moment's applause for Colin Illich, who sadly passed away a couple of weeks ago. He's a founding member of the Derby Wheel Blazers Basketball Club 12 years ago, and sadly missed by the wheelchair basketball community. Well, our thoughts with Colin's family and all of his friends in the Derby wheelchair basketball community. And now we get ourselves ready now for the big final here at the EIS in Sheffield, the National League Premier Final. And it's Sheffield and the Owls going head-to-head once again, just going through the last few handshakes, and then they'll go off and do their warm-up. So let's take a look at the two team lineups for today's game. And JJ, you can cast your eye over this lineup for the Steelers, and maybe give our fans at home a few tips and pointers as who they should be keeping an eye on.
Well, where do we begin? Number 11, I think Ben Fox, when he's on, he really is a silky smooth player, fantastic reader of the game, and a heavy scorer. James McSorley, number 17, has really come to the fore in the last 2-3 years, also now an integral part of the Great Britain team. Harry Brown is definitely one to watch if you like fast, electric-paced basketball with flashy passes and great shooting.
And who doesn't?
Absolutely, who doesn't indeed.
And let's have a look now at the Owls lineup for today's game. There it is.
Yeah, so number 8, Billy Bridge, player to watch out for. As I say, if he's on form, he could affect the outcome of this game. Laurie Williams and Robin Love together are fantastic players. Rob Love in the semi-final against Titans really came on and changed the game for them when it was looking a bit dicey in the first quarter. She really showed her experience there. Jack Perry, fantastic player, number 15. He can score heavily, but they'll be relying on Martin Edwards. He really has to pick the slack up, I think, if they are to do well in this game.
Yeah, the Steelers reached this final courtesy of an 87-56 victory over CWBA in the semi-final, whilst the Owls were 64-41 victors over the London Titans in their semi-final. As you say, Robin Love with 14 points off 7 of 9 shooting, as well as 9 rebounds off the bench. For a plus 20 in the old plus minus, a massive contribution in 28 minutes.
Yeah, you just can't put a price on the efficiency rating that she brings to any team, and she's just that kind of player, just never makes mistakes, always makes great decisions, and hits big shots as well. So you really can't ask for much more than that from a player.
Well, the two teams going into their final huddles to get the last few instructions from the two coaches, and I would imagine this is totally about the first couple of plays, the first minute or two, just giving them something to ease themselves into the final.
Yeah, neither team will want the other to get an easy start, so you know they know where the dangers are, they know who they have to mark, who their primary targets are, who their secondary and tertiary targets are. They'll be well coached. I mean, we talk about the players, but both benches are also replete with just a wealth of coaching experience, with Dan Johnson and Gary Peel for Oldham, Kev Hayes and Paul Hudson for the Sheffield team. So, you know, there are no mugs out there, really.
No, indeed. And, well, we're almost ready to go here at the English Institute of Sport in Sheffield, in the British Wheelchair Basketball Show Court. It's a packed crowd here, and they've been enjoying action all day in the multiple courts of the EIS, and the two finals here on the show court on National Championships weekend. Another 3 finals taking place on this court tomorrow. We're very much looking forward to those as well. But right now, it is the Men's Premier League decider, the two best teams in the country going head to head for the playoff prize. Here come the two starting fives for the Steelers. It'll be Conroy, Smith, Fox, McSorley and Brown, and they will go up against Fraser Bridge, Williams, Perry and Edwards.
Yeah, this is a strong starting 5 here from Sheffield. They got the height and calmness under pressure of Tom Smith, quality of Amy Conroy, and then just McSorley, Fox and Brown heading up the guard lineup. Customary starting 5 for Oldham with Williams, Bridge, Fraser, Edwards and Perry.
Here we go then. The referees are ready, the table is ready, we are ready, and the final can get underway. And it is Sheffield who come up with it, and the Steelers will get the opening possession of the game with McSorley bringing it forward. Brown's going to fire up the three on the opening play, front rims that. And
He likes to do that every now and again, just to get the defensive team on the back foot.
See if he can catch them napping, and he certainly left him open. Perry late in the shot clock, well challenged on that shot. McSorley with the rebound, and there's just a chair issue. So the referee's just going to stop it for a second to allow Fox to sort his strapping out.
Yeah, so already we see with Ben Fox defending Billy Bridge at the top, it's harder for Billy to get those passes out to the wing. Ben is deceptively long. He's got a long trunk and long arms, so the pass is then exponentially harder to execute.
Basically just giving him that shot there, Fox, and unable to take it.
Yeah, surprising they didn't jump in, but I guess they're worried about Smith and Conroy getting into the key off those.
Here's Williams. Going backwards, tough shot, and good for Perry.
Tough shot, but trademark shot there for Edwards. When he's on form, he just hits those for homework.
Better challenge on that shot. Here's Edwards pushing it forward. Nice cut through the lane, and there'll be a foul in there as well.
Yeah, typical Oldham that they like that play where they're so good at moving the ball and making offside cuts. Here we see it. Ball goes one way. Bridge with his head up, and Perry makes the cut, draws the foul.
Perry good on the first free throw. Front rims the second. Smith with the rebound. Gets it out to Conroy. Conroy to Brown. Brown falling down, able to get the shot away. Bobbles out for him though, and a chance for the Owls to break. Here's Bridge. Nice pass. Oh, but Perry unable to profit for two. Conroy coming the other way. Brown goes cross court to McSorley. Back it comes to Brown. Lines up the shot. Off the mark. Over 2 minutes gone. Steelers still looking to get on the board. Foul called on Fox. He didn't look overly impressed with that.
Yeah, he felt it was cracking eggs, didn't he? It's their first three shots of Steelers. It's unusual for them.
Bridge brings it forward to Edwards. Trying to find some room. Good screen. Gets him open. And he knocks down the shot. 5-0 Owls.
Yeah, Dan Fraser was in there screaming for the ball, but Martin Edwards made the decision.
McSorley with some room in the corner, and finally it's taken almost 3 minutes, but the Steelers are on the board.
Yeah, nice two there from James McSorley. It's been great to watch how he's developed in the last 2 years to a truly international class player now.
Edwards. Oh, pass a little bit astray. No chance for Bridge to chase that down. Steelers get it back.
Yeah, truly careless pass there from Martin Edwards. You can't afford to make too many of those sort of mistakes at this level.
Conroy over to Fox. Again, they've given him some room and he makes them pay.
Yeah, they're going to have to start jumping him. I mean, he missed his first shot, but he's not the sort of player that's going to turn down those shots or miss those shots very often.
Perry back out to Bridge in the free throw line. Inside it goes. Oh, not quite. And a good rebound from Fox. Down court it goes to Brown. Over to McSorley. And he strokes it all string, and took him a couple of minutes to get going, but now the Steelers have their first lead.
Another nice two there for McSorley.
Stolen away, and a chance for Brown in the open court. Good work from Perry to make it difficult, but a second chance opportunity is taken by Smith, and an early timeout has been called by the Owls. And, well, they jumped out to a quick lead with the first 5 points of the game, and suddenly 8 have gone in the other way.
Yeah, that's right. It was never going to stay like that, I don't think, for very long. You give Ben Fox especially time. McSorley's done well, hasn't he? He's hit 2 crucial jumpers even at this early stage, and nice janitorial services there at the end by Tom Smith.
Well, that's the thing, is they've given them those spaces in the corners, those sort of 15, 16 foot shots, and well, now they're dropping in. You've got to change that tactic.
Yeah, I don't know if that was actually deliberate. I don't know if they said, let's see how they start. It's an unusual tactic at this level. Normally, you know, you don't want guys like Ben Fox and McSorley to get their eye in. You want to put them under pressure from the start, get them on the dribble, get them passing the ball, make someone else shoot the ball.
Back out from the timeout come the two sides. Last action was that Steelers score, so the Owls get possession from the end line. Here's Edwards. Bridge. Down low it goes. Nice pass in the paint, but unable to finish is Edwards.
Nice cut, but yeah, no finish there from Martin Edwards.
McSorley. Driving along the baseline. Lobs it back out to Smith, who shots off the mark. Bridge. Down low to Perry, and just a little bump in the back there, spotted by the referee, and Smith called for the foul.
Yeah, last two players, Oldham, have got it into their post plays. They like that. They like pinning the defense.
Fade away from Edwards, no good. Fox needs to stop the ball. He goes all the way through the basket, and on the trail is Smith for another bucket.
Yeah, classic fast break basketball. Great work there from Ben Fox. Just drove the baseline, drew the defense, and waited for a little bit of yellow to get in there.
Bridge firing up for three off the back of the iron. Long rebound comes all the way out to McSorley. Fox. Cross court to McSorley. McSorley, his shot is off the mark. Rebound Perry. Owls could really do with getting some points on the board. Fraser gets in close, and that's what he's good at, and finally they're off 5.
Yeah, he's only a classification 2-point player, is Dan Fraser, but he gets into those little positions and no one can really touch him. He's got such a high release, as we see Harry Brown miss a relatively easy shot.
Quick outlet pass that Steelers have dealt with pretty well in the end. Perry was out in front for a second. Perry working with Fraser, who rolls to the basket. Didn't quite get enough on it. Will have a second opportunity, and he misses that as well. Conroy with the ball.
Harder that time, he had to shoot across his body. Doesn't have the abs to balance himself.
I know that feeling. Lobbed into Conroy, tapped away. And a little ricochet off the back of the chair there and out of bounds.
Yeah, the pass had to be on the money, but it's difficult to get it over big, long Dan Fraser. He's taller than the Leaning Tower of Pisa, that lad.
Bridge takes the shot, needs a roll. You could hear him shout off. He knew it wasn't going in. Here's McSorley. Still going, and they don't close down the lane, and he gets all the way to the basket for two.
Well, they're already struggling a little bit here, Oldham, with the all-round offense of Sheffield Steelers. They've got so many ways to hurt you.
You can't forget the guy with the ball, though. That's the problem.
Quite right.
Tapped away, but only to Bridge, and Fraser's in close. Oh, just off the mark on that one. Looked like an easy one for somebody of his size, but unable to pop it in. Sorley again driving through the lane. Again, he gets all the way to the basket. And he's come to play here in this final with 8 early points.
Well, yeah, as you say, he's come to play, but some players come to play. He's come to win today, I think.
Yeah.
Fantastic start from him. Just showing every move that he's got. 2 outside shots. Nice little rolling, floating shot down the middle, and then there's the little tap in there. Careless turnover again. That's about their 3rd or 4th turnover from Oldham already. Danger signs as far as I'm concerned.
Well, Fraser and Williams checking out of the game. I think it's fair to say Fraser's not very happy at the moment. He's chuntering away on the sidelines.
Well, he's used to hitting those shots. Let's see if Rob Love, her presence, hopefully can make a difference in this game.
Perry with some space. Love gets the offensive rebound, recycles it out. And, well, that was an easy defensive rebound. Steelers with looking to stretch out to a double-figure lead here. McSorley's shot doesn't drop. Lob down to Edwards off the glass. Much needed points for the Owls in the final minute of the opening quarter.
Yeah, that was a fantastic shot there by Martin Edwards.
Smith lines one up, and he's just got the size there to shoot over Boardman, the defender. Foul is called on Amy Conroy.
Yeah, Rob Love there just made a good pick. Amy Conroy was not going to give her the lane.
Into Love. Bridge. Rims out. Shot clock switched off. Chance for the final play here. McSorley wants to run it down. Whoa, just falling backwards. There's going to be a foul on that one. I think he banged his head a little bit there, Fox.
He's a tough lad, he'll be fine. Wayne Boardman with a foul there, just felt a little bit aggrieved. I think he thought that Fox was already falling down as the foul was called. Oldham having to work hard for their points here, which will be cause for concern.
5 seconds left. Well, ball bounces to McSorley. His shot goes wide of the mark, and a good first quarter for the Sheffield Steelers. It took them over 2 minutes to get their first points on the board, but in the last 8 they've got 18, and having been 5-0 down, they've won 18-4 since that first basket went in, and Oldham having difficulties putting the ball in the hole.
Yeah, they are. They're having to work that little bit harder against this mobile and tall defense of Sheffield, who are able to just put that extra bit of pressure on the likes of Edwards, Bridge and Perry. Fraser's missed a couple of sitters inside by his own standards, so they're having to work harder to get their points. Hence the 9-point differential right now.
But as we saw in the last meeting between this team, it can ebb and flow back and forth. And, well, as you say, they're going to need to take some more of their opportunities. Fraser is the one you mentioned there. He's just 1 of 5. He's normally a much better shooter than that across the course of the season, and he's got himself into good positions, so there is the upside of that. He's just got to take advantage of those positions.
Yeah, he has set positions which he gets into, and they expect him to make a reasonable percentage of those shots in order to take the scoring pressure off the likes of Perry and Edwards.
Well, he's been shooting at about 40% through the course of the league campaign. Two teams making their way back out here for the second quarter. I think it's important here that the Owls get some points on the board in the first couple of minutes here, just to boost the old confidence and get themselves. You don't want to suddenly look up and be 14, 15, 16 down.
Certainly not against Sheffield Steelers. They're the last team in the world that you want to be that far down to and having to chase down. Even though Oldham did do it earlier in the season.
Yeah, even though they did in the last meeting, but you wouldn't want to have to rely on that. Here's Edwards. Coleman gets it back. Nice, along the baseline. Shot needs to go up, it's down to 4. Doesn't hit the ring, so the rearrange from Edwards is off the mark.
Yeah, again, a player of his quality, you'd have thought he'd have hit that.
Conroy's got in close, and you'd expect her to have made that as well, but it's cleaned up. No, it's not. And a good defensive rebound from Perry. Well, there's an element of fortune there for the Owls to have not given up a score.
Yeah, 2 let-offs there, weren't there? Firstly from Amy Conroy, who, as you rightly said, doesn't normally miss that close to the basket, followed by Tom Smith.
And that was also the second foul of the game on Smith. Bridge now. Again, they look to go down low, but he's had to come a fair way out to collect the ball, and therefore the shot is off the mark.
Yeah, Martin Edwards, he's used to being a little bit closer.
Oh, and once again, they don't stop the ball. I know you've got to worry about the other guys on the court, but first and foremost, the ball is the only one that can score.
Yeah, quite right. It's difficult against this team. They've got so many ways to hurt you, Sheffield.
Conroy called for her second foul. So that's both Conroy and Smith in a little bit of foul trouble here. There's no movement on the sidelines in Sheffield just yet.
Perry hits his first perimeter shot of the game.
Gets them up into double digits. And Sorley onto Smith. Nice bounce off the iron there. Smith up to 8. Good pass, there we go. And there's the third, I don't think that'll count, no. But it's the third personal foul on Conroy, and surely they're going to have to take her out now.
Yeah, I think so. I think she probably could have let that one go, given that she just picked up her second foul. She wasn't really going to affect the shot. Could have given it up, given the lead they have as well. She won't be happy with herself there. Let's see if they decide to take her off, as indeed they already have done. On comes Jim Palmer, another burgeoning talent for Sheffield.
We're unlikely to see Conroy again until the second half. And how does that affect the Steelers as Perry is able to rattle that one in? Timeout called by the Steelers with the score 22-13, 2 minutes into the second quarter.
Yeah, Oldham, apart from the last two perimeter shots that Jack Perry has hit, they've struggled to score easy baskets, haven't they? Whereas the Steelers, they seem to have had a lot more time and they're able to penetrate as well, so they're not just relying on outside shots. We've already seen 2 or 3 times they've sailed right through the middle of the key with the ball.
Well, the Owls shooting just 23% from the floor in this game versus 45% for the Steelers. And just to put that into context, both of these teams over the course of the season shooting in the high 40s, and that's just such a massive drop-off down into the 20s. And
Yeah.
it's tough to win games if you're not putting the ball in the basket.
Yeah, those certainly aren't good numbers for a final here. I know that there's some concerns within the Oldham coaching cadavre that maybe they've hit a little bit of poor form. They lost an unexpected game against CDWBA from Coventry towards the end of the last game of their season, the regular season. So concerning times for the Oldham coaching staff.
Steelers possession of the ball from the end line. McSorley will cross mid-court. On to Fox, and again, that space from about 12 to 15 feet. That one banks out.
Well, I can only imagine that they've been instructed not to hard jump him.
Well, if they haven't, they've chosen not to. It's a tough one, good offensive rebound. Crowded out though, and a chance for Brown in transition. Love coming in with the hard foul. Brown has a little look at her and a bit of a grin on his face.
Here we see it on the replay, just a little shimmy fake here you'll see from Harry Brown. Robin Love having no part of that, raising a hand before the whistle was blown even.
Fox with the shot is good, and that's his second score of the game. Edwards trying to find some room out baseline. He threw it hard enough that the bounce of the ball took it over the ring.
Yeah, nice little move there from Martin Edwards to get him into that slightly closer position.
And Fox gets a nice bounce as well, so the lead is back to double figures at 11.
I wish I was shooting on these rings, Dan.
Yeah, they're all bouncing.
That'd have been a legend.
Yeah. There's McSorley. And again, he had a lane to the basket. Eventually it's closed down. Lobbed inside to Fox, who's underneath. And on a lot of pressure, the foul is going to be called.
Well, Ben Fox deserves a bonus just for cleaning the floor here. Spent a lot of time on the floor, but you see the problems that they're posing now for Oldham. When Oldham go into the key, Steelers have got just a little bit of height to put off the shots and even intercept the passes, as it was on the last one. And that transfers to the other end as well. They're getting easier shots, getting into the key. Time to take easy outside shots.
First free throw rims out. Loose ball ends up in the Owls' hands, and Ballman is forward. Perry trying to get along the baseline. Well defended in the end. Back out to Bridge. He fires up the three, front rims that. Brown is off and running if they can find him. It does go down court and he is there. Oh, he's unable to make it at the first attempt. The second one doesn't go, but he leaked out and drew the foul. He'll shoot two.
Hell of a pass there from Tom Smith. Fine, Harry Brown. He goes to the line.
Makes them both. Gap is now 13, biggest it's been in the game so far. Oldham needs some points here. 15 points in best part of 15 minutes. It's a struggle to win a game at that clip.
Again there, Martin Edwards. Customary fade away as Harry Brown makes a fantastic shot, just balancing on two wheels. Great balance, great skill, great composure.
Super finish. Had a little chat with the referee as to whether there might have been a foul in there. Nothing doing, but the points are good, and the Steelers doubling up the Owls here in the final, midway through the second quarter. It's 30 points to 15, and well, just more of the same is the message in that timeout right there.
I'd have thought so, yeah. I mean, Kev Hayes has got to be happy with the work that his team has put in, especially defensively. They've really made it very hard for Oldham to score. And yeah, real problems here for Oldham now. 15-point deficit already. The question mark really is, what can they do to change the nature of the game? Because they're not able to offensively do much different, I would have thought.
Well, in that meeting last month where they did come from 15 down in the fourth quarter to win it, it was Perry and Edwards who really carried the load in all of that. A lot of layups made. Trying to somehow get the ball in close to the basket. They haven't had too much in transition, and in the half court, Sheffield have made it difficult for them.
Yeah, it's hard to just, even in transition, it's hard to get transition baskets against Sheffield.
Well, there
Bridge
is
hits one from the elbow.
Yeah, there is an open shot. They haven't had too many of them, and Bridge is able to knock it down, but he needs some stops at this end. Brown's three is off the mark. So, score, stop. Can they get another score to start to eat into this lead? Here's Williams. Cross court to Bridge. Spinning along the baseline. Shot clock down to 5. His pass is overcooked, and Brown is trying to break away.
Nice cover there from Harry Brown.
Oh, it's a good pass as well, but it was just through the hands there of Smith.
Yeah, I think Tom Smith was shooting that before he caught it, wasn't he?
He was. Bridge over to Edwards. Back to Bridge at the top of the key. Again, the shot clock being counted down by the fans, and doesn't drop for Perry. McSorley. Three-second violation called.
Yeah, good patience from Steelers there. Jim Palmer just lighting his campfire in there. The referee put it out for him.
Edwards trying to go to work down low, gets it out. Bridge at the free throw line, makes the 2.
And that's what they have to generate. They have to generate more open shots for the likes of Bridge, for the likes of Edwards.
Surely front rims that one. Ball is loose and Brown will snaffle it. Will he fire up the 3? No, he drives in to the lane, keeps going all the way to the basket. What a finish from Harry Brown.
Well, there you go. Just those moves alone from Harry Brown worth the price of admission, I'd say. He's just a living highlight reel when he's on his days, Harry. Great to see.
Williams back to Bridge. Good catch from Perry and an even better finish. And at least they're getting the scoreboard ticking. They haven't really taken anything out of the lead yet, but they're starting to string together a few points.
Yeah, they got a nice pick and roll there. The cover came and Laurie Williams made a very intelligent screen for Perry to cut from the other side.
McSorley from 17 feet.
Player of the half for me so far, Dan, James McSorley.
12 points, game's leading scorer. Edwards working with Williams, comes back up to Bridge. Good pass inside, Perry off the mark, second chance, and he's able to clean it up.
Well, they're making that ball move a lot better now, and they're timing the cuts from the offside, getting slightly easier shots. See if they can carry on as Ben Fox.
Ben Fox gets a whistle there, and well, Bridge is saying to the referee, I caught him, he was falling over, and I was just trying to stop him falling over, that's why I had my hands around his waist.
Yeah, generally you just let him fall, I think, then, and let the referee decide that way.
Well, certainly Dan Johnson as well had a slightly different view of that to the official. She was happy to share with the ref.
It's a familiar sight, Dan arguing with the referee. But he hasn't gone red yet, so...
Not yet, no.
He hasn't gone red yet, so everything's all right.
Edwards able to come up with the defensive rebound. Can the Owls get it back into single figures? Closing in on half-time. Perry just put the dribble a little too far out in front of him, and Steelers are going to make him pay in transition. Brown all on his own. Isn't going to miss that one.
Nice defensive play there by Tom Smith. Just didn't give an inch.
Nearly came into play there on the inbound.
Yeah, that would have been embarrassing.
Edwards. Room at the free throw line, and another 2 for him.
Yeah, not quite sure why James McSorley came off him there to cover Laurie Williams. My money would be to stay with Edwards.
Brown's shot is short. Rebound bounces to Edwards. Looking to push it in transition. Has a lot of space, and the gap is back under 10 for the first time in a while.
Yeah, good work. They've had a little mini resurgence there. Space made there by Jack Perry picking out.
And Fox's shot is off the mark. The shot clock is on, but there's not much between the shot and the game clock. They can run this down to the final second if they want to, or they can turn it over instead.
Well, poor decision, I think, from Billy Bridge there.
I think it's one of those where you see an opportunity for a score, but actually the smart play there is run it down, so that if you don't score, if you do score, great, you get it down to potentially 7 points. But if you don't score, you don't want them to have the opportunity to go the other way, and that's exactly what they've given them here.
Yeah, you'd have thought they would have played for the last shot there, wouldn't you? Just run it down to as far as they can. But there were open players there. He just didn't execute that pass very well, did Billy, on this occasion.
Well, timeout called here by Coach Kev Hayes as he looks to draw up a play. And you feel over the course of this 20 minutes, 10, 11 points would feel like a fair reflection on what they've done in this game. And they've got a chance with a score here to take that into the halftime break.
Yeah, I mean, they came out, Oldham, after their previous timeout, and obviously they made a better plan offensively. They were moving the ball better. There were timing cuts and getting easier baskets, getting guys under the basket. Martin Edwards had a couple of easy shots, which he sank, which has helped.
Brown dumps it back. Needs to go up here from Fox on the buzzer and off the mark. Well, they defended it okay in the end there, the Owls, but the problem for them has really been at the offensive end. Sheffield have found ways of scoring, and Oldham haven't really.
Yeah, they really struggled offensively. Sheffield have really taken them out of their comfort zone when it comes to offense, but they did have a little mini resurgence there. I mean, it could have been a lot. They were 15 down at one stage, if I recall correctly, and they've managed to pull it back up to 9. So that's something of a victory, if you like. They're in the game.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It was 15, 9 at half time. If you can come out and score the first 4 points of the second half, then suddenly the scoreboard looks pretty decent to you.
Yeah, let's not discount them. You know, they've got some smart heads off and on court. So I certainly wouldn't rule them out. But Sheffield have definitely had the easier shots, I feel, and that's what's helped them. And they've been able to exert more pressure on the Oldham offense than the other way around.
And one player who's had quite an impact on the first half is James McSorley, and I had the chance to chat with him and Amy Conroy a little earlier today.
Well, I'm joined now by Amy and James. First of all, big final for you guys. You must be excited. It promises to be a cracking game.
Yeah, we're super hyped for it. At the moment, we're 1-1 with Oldham, the team we're playing, so all to play for.
Yeah, it's been some pretty cracking games between you two teams this year.
Yeah, I think going back a couple of years, even if you look at Oldham and Steelers, it's always really been a bit of a rivalry. It must be a North of England thing. I don't know. I don't really mess with the whole being English thing. I don't understand that, but it's a big game, and as Amy said, we're 1-1, so it's all to play for. I've been looking forward to this. Obviously, like, you could say that it could have been you just turn up and play whoever you want, and whoever makes the final, you got to beat them. But like, really, I wanted to have a go at Oldham again, and I'm sure they want to have another crack at us to see who the best team in England is. So looking forward to it.
And for people watching wheelchair basketball for the first time, it is mixed gender in these National League games.
Yes, internationally it's separated, but in the league, yeah, you can pick up chicks on your team. Yeah.
And how do you find that?
Christ.
Yeah, it's really fun. I love playing with the guys. It feels like a bit of a different game. It feels a lot quicker. Guys tend to be more direct with telling you like what's going wrong and what's right. So I really love it. It's great.
And she's all right to have on your team?
Yeah, like she unfortunately picked up an injury playing a game for us near the start of the season, so missed about half of our games. And I was chatting to someone yesterday, and I'm saying it would have been cool, obviously, for you to play a bit more, but it like, I've had a great experience playing with you, so it would have been cool to have you all year. But you know, Lewis Edwards had to wreck you, but you know, see what happens.
And looking at it from the development, we're obviously thinking about the GB team going forward and that. How have you think the National League has developed over the recent years?
I think you just have to look at how many people are going to be in the room later on or how many people have been at the games all day to see that it's growing. Like this court that we're playing on, the fact that there's TV cameras here, the fact that you've given me a microphone somehow, like that's it. Like it's I think you can measure it in how many people see the sport, how many people get involved, and how many people enjoy watching it, and how many people love wheelchair basketball. And I think we're going in the right direction.
And if you were talking to people who were just thinking, well, I've just seen this and they wanted to get involved, how would they?
Get involved in basketball or
Yes.
watching? I mean, we have teams all over the country, so there should be a team local to you. So check out the website, I guess, the British Wheelchair Basketball website.
There you go, very on brand. But taking it back to the game here today, what do you think the important things are that you have to do to win it?
I think us and Oldham kind of play. We like playing at different paces. We really like to push the pace. We really like to get down the other end of the floor as quick as possible, try and get some buckets in transition, and they're really, really well drilled, methodical teams. So I think whoever dictates the pace has a really good chance of winning the game. But obviously, a lot of it's a make or miss game, isn't it?
Yeah,
like
it is.
by and large, if we shoot well, if we get the right looks, and they happen to roll, we're probably in business. But anything can happen.
Team with the most points in the end will win.
Yeah, if we score more baskets than them, we might do all right. What were you going to say? Sorry.
Nothing, I was just saying that they've got some pretty agile big guys who can heat up quite well. So we just want to not let them get hot.
Well, good luck in the final. Enjoy it. I'm sure you will. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much.
I definitely had to watch myself with them pair. They were plotting and scheming about things they were going to say in that interview. But it showed that, I mean, they obviously really enjoy playing with each other, and it is one of those things where you actually get the opportunity to see the women playing with the men as well.
Yeah, playing, and of course those two will be training together. They're both part of centralised programs up here at this fantastic facility at the EIS. So the men and the women who are centralised do see so much more of each other, and they're fraternised, and there's a lot of cross-pollination of ideas and advice, which is fantastic to see, really. And it's you can see from the results in recent years that that's paying off, especially with the women who've made such big leaps and bounds.
Yeah, I mean the women's team, both the senior and the under 25s, have done so well in the last few years, and hopefully will continue to do really well this weekend as well. The under 25s.
Yeah, as we speak, the under 25 teams are. The GB women's under 25 team are taking part in the World Championships in Thailand, where they are defending champions. So far they've had an easy ride against easy-ish teams, but really the challenge there is going to come from Australia and the USA, both of who have very strong teams, particularly the USA. So we'll see how they do, but they are defending champions, which is an achievement in itself.
And it's one of those things, is actually the women's game and the men's game not identical, so actually allowing the women to play at this with the men gives them exposure to a different style of play.
Yeah, they have to, without being patronising about the whole thing, obviously just due to physiological differences, that they have to work so much harder physically to live even with a mediocre male player against a fantastic player like, I don't know, Laurie Williams. She physically has to work so much harder just to stay in the game. So yeah, really good work that these guys are doing up here now.
Well, somebody else who's doing pretty well in the league this year, Robin Love. I managed to catch up with her and have a chat before today's game.
I'm joined now by Robin. Robin, great to have you. Once again, we're at another big final, and it's the Steelers and the Owls going head-to-head again. It's some rivalry.
Yeah, absolutely. That's 2 years in a row now we've played Steelers in the final. Unfortunately, we lost last year. But this season, it's a tie. So the last 2 games, we've won 1, they've won 1. So this is a tie break, so we'll see what happens.
And it seems like there have been 2 well-matched games that you've played against them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. First time at home. We only lost, I think, by 5 or 6. That was our first game of the season, so a tough one to start off the season. And then we played them again, and not month ago, 2 months ago, and we won by 1, which was brilliant. Came back from 16 down. Really great fight from the guys. Really proud. Unfortunately, we had to win by 6 or something to get the top of the league, but we didn't manage that. But getting the win was good enough, and it means that we get to face them again in the finals now to see who's the champion overall.
Yeah, it was a crazy old game as well, the way it went in the fourth quarter there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was an incredible game to be part of, incredible game to watch. So hopefully tonight will be a good show for everyone as well.
Well, yeah, we'd sign us up for another one of those close finishes. But just looking at the season as a whole, how do you think it's been for you guys?
Another good season for the Owls. So we play in the league. We've came second in the league, only losing to Steelers, of course. And we also play in Europe. So the Owls, we go out and play against the top professional teams in Europe, which is fantastic. And we came 5th in our final in that as well, which might not sound impressive, but we play the teams we play against are all professional teams where the athletes get paid, and we're a charity run by volunteers. So it's brilliant to know that we can go up against the big hitters and hold our own.
And how important is that for the development of the game in this country, to be testing yourself at that highest level?
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, to not only have our league but also be able to go out to Europe, it's really important to see where we are within Europe, and also give our athletes, myself included, a chance to compete against the best athletes from around the world. Like we were playing against German athletes, Russian athletes, and it's a great experience for those athletes as well, as they look to be part of the GB programme one day, no doubt.
Well, that's the other thing, is because it sort of raises the level of the players on your team who are not quite yet at the GB level, and obviously we always look at it through an international prism as well, and how we can get more top quality players into the GB system.
Oh, absolutely, and the Owls are a team renowned for producing GB talent. Dan Johnson, who is our head coach, he's one of them. He played for GB for a number of years. Myself and Laurie, the 2 women on the team, we're both in the GB women's setup. Greg Warburton, who isn't playing for us this season, but he was named MVP of the World Championships last year. He's an Owls alumni, so we've got a strong history of producing talent within the Owls, and hopefully again you'll get to see that talent on the floor tonight. And
that's one of the things about this National League, is that you do get the top level women in playing alongside the men. How different is it for you to be playing with the men?
It's quite different. So like I said, Laurie and I, we are the two women in our team. There's 3 women in our club in total. And it is just a different game that we would play compared to what we do at GB. Our role changes, but I think that we get a lot out of it playing against men. They're obviously usually a lot faster and taller than I am, which is a good challenge. We are fortunate that in this country we have a women's league, where it's women against women. So that runs over 3 weekends of the year, and that's a fantastic experience, and that really just gels both the National League and the GB women's set up really well, because the women get to play against men, but also they get the opportunity to play with women against women at Women's League.
And obviously we couldn't have the Women's League final this weekend because of the international tournament going on right now.
Oh, absolutely. Our juniors are out in Thailand at the minute competing at the World Championships, where we are currently the holders of the World Championship from 4 years ago in China. So we are hoping that our juniors will be successful in that tournament. Hopefully they'll reach a podium, there's no doubt in my mind. They're doing well so far, not lost a game yet, so we'll see how they get on.
And it's all important for the development of the sport to see both success domestically, playing in Europe, and also on the international stage as well.
Oh, absolutely. So currently the GB women are second in the world, our men are first. Our junior women are current gold medalists. We'll see what happens this weekend. Our junior men are gold medalists, so we're quite successful GB programme, and I think that our National League is really developing to push that further, in order for our athletes who are coming through to join the programme and be part of the GB setup, if that's what they want to do when they're older.
And just bringing it back to tonight's game, what do you think the most important things that you have to do well to win this one?
I think for the Owls, we play in a really good system that our coaches have created. I think it's about playing relaxed and playing in our system, and denying Steelers and what they want to do, which is play fast and hard and transition, and we've got to really be mentally and physically switched on in order to combat that.
Well, good luck in the final. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, we're a minute and a half away from the start of the second half in the Premier League final, and the Sheffield Steelers leading the Owls 36-27. And JJ, if we put you in the Oldham halftime team talk, what have they got? I mean, score more points is the obvious answer, but what have they got to do? How do they break down this Sheffield defense?
Well, they started to do it towards the end of that quarter because, as we said before, they were quite a way down when they pulled it back to 9. Just by timing their cuts better off the blind side of the pick and off the strong side, and I think just more of that, they were able to get Edwards more open shots. Interestingly, they've been playing Robin Love in the block, so normally she'd play somewhere in the perimeter, even at the top where she gets more shots, but they've decided to play her down there. So at one stage they were shooting 23%. They've pulled it back up to 39%, which is still a way off the 48% that Sheffield have been shooting, but it's indication that they're on the way up. So the Oldham coaching team will want them to carry on where they left off, really, because if they don't, then I fear that the game will slip away from them. 7 turnovers in that half from Oldham. Rather uncharacteristic, but it's just an indication of how much pressure that Steelers have been putting on them.
Yeah, I mean, the defensively, I don't think Dan Johnson would be too disappointed with giving up 36 points in the first half. I think if you said to him, we'll keep them to 36, he probably would have took that at halftime, wouldn't he?
I think so, yeah. The offense has clearly been the problem for them. They've just not been able to get those easy looks for their heaviest scorers that they're used to getting, just because Sheffield are just so mobile and just able to pressurise. They're tall, but they're mobile as well. It's really difficult. You've got McSorley, Fox, and Brown up front, just making life horrible for them. Then you've got Tom Smith just waiting for everybody inside.
Here we go then. 20 minutes left in this final, and it's the Steelers who have the opening possession to try and push this back into a double-figure lead. Is the game's leading scorer, McSorley, trying to bounce it into Brown. Foul call.
Foul call there on Dan Fraser. He looks hard done by. I'm not sure what happened there.
Well, it's his first. Fox's shot is off the mark. Fraser with the rebound. Edwards bringing it forward, gets it onto Perry. His shot is off the glass. Will it bobble in? No, it won't. It'll bobble out to the hands of McSorley, and Sheffield bring it forward with Fox back to McSorley. Cross court, it goes to Brown, and a little bit too high there, the pass in the general direction of Smith.
Yeah, very general, wasn't it? Just a little bit of complacency, I think, from Steelers here now. They need to regain the intensity that they showed in the first half of that game.
Edwards. Bridge. Good offensive rebound. Will that count? Yes, it will. Basket is good inside, and Perry will go to the line for a bonus.
Yeah, those are the little breaks that Oldham will be looking for. Tough shot there from Jack Perry. Cleaning up after Billy Bridge.
Three-point play is good, and the gap down to 6. And we said at the end of the first half, if you can score the first 4 or 5 points, suddenly the scoreboard looks totally different.
Yeah, that's right. That puts a little bit pressure on Steelers again.
Fox up top is Brown. Round it goes to McSorley. His shot is all string.
Just a beautiful use of space there from James McSorley. Economy of movement with the chair, didn't go any further than he needed to.
Round it goes to Bridge. Good pass. And cutting to the basket. Well, Fraser still can't get those to roll in.
Well, he's having a poor game, I have to say, and that's part of the reason Oldham are struggling. They normally rely on him for like 8-10 points a game.
Long pass down towards Bridge. Surely trying to force that one inside, stolen away by Edwards. Not for the first time today. Fox on the floor, just again trying to overreach.
Well, he cleaned one half of the court.
He's got to do the other half.
Might as well do the other half, or there'll be a disparity in dust.
Edwards' shot doesn't go. Brown being chased down and fouled by Fraser.
Yeah, decent foul, I think.
Yeah.
Dan Fraser, he's only on one foul.
He's not the easiest guy to catch, is he, Harry Brown? But he did make sure that he didn't get the layup.
No, I mean, when he's in full flight, you need to get an Uber, really, to to get him. Other taxi services are available.
They are. And, well, he saved his team a point, hasn't he? Because it would have been a guaranteed 2 there.
Smart foul.
In fact, he saved them 2 points. It's an even smarter foul now. Bridge. Bridge is fouled on the shot.
Well, Ben Fox is incredulous.
Yeah. Although the Owls bench were very enthusiastic with their applause for the referee there.
As you'd expect them to be. But interesting little dilemma now for the Oldham offense. The last 2 offenses, Dan Fraser has been available and they haven't gone to him. He's having a poor shooting game, and maybe that sowed a little bit of doubt in their minds. But I'd be inclined to keep going to him, I think. You have to, especially on mismatches, as Bridge misses his second.
Tipped away, and Fox is in trouble there. And there's going to be an offensive foul right in front of us there, Fox. And he gets called for the charge.
Yeah, I think that was a fair call. Harry Brown protesting, as is his wont. He likes to chat with the referees, does Harry?
Well, now they do go inside to Fraser. He lines one up. Oh, he's stolen the ball back. The big man. Bridge. It's just a couple of chairs wrapped together here in front of us.
Yeah, an unusual but not rare occurrence where the little bend in the footplate gets caught in the other player's chair. Usually involves taking a wheel off in order to separate them.
There you go. That's all sorted. The wheel's back on. Just need to regain his position in the seat now. Perry.
A little bit of extra height now again for Steelers with the entrance of Amy Conroy as Jim Palmer takes a breather.
Be interesting to see how she gets on, because it was so long ago that she left the game. It was early in the second quarter, and of course with the 15-minute interval, that was probably 35, 40 minutes ago.
It was a long time ago. Her hair's visibly longer, but she was on 3 fouls, wasn't she?
She was, yeah.
Had to be taken off.
It's how quickly she can get back into the flow of the game. Nice pass, and surely Fraser, this time he does lay it in, and we have ourselves a 5-point ball game.
Yeah, he needed to hit that, didn't he, for all sorts of reasons.
Well, he was 1 of 7 before that one dropped. McSorley cross court. Fox off the iron, and the momentum definitely with the Owls right now. Chance to cut it to a one-shot game here. Edwards, Perry, McSorley trying to make the shot difficult, but not doing a very good job of it, and a great start to the third quarter by the Owls. They've scored 8 of the first 10 points, and this one's right back in the balance. 38-35, timeout Sheffield.
Well, that's right. It's Sheffield's turn now to struggle offensively, and as a result, Oldham are getting rebounds. They're getting out on the break. They're getting little mismatches, as we saw in that last play with Perry able to shoot over McSorley. And yeah, we're back on track for a classic, hopefully.
Well, it's the perfect start to the second half for the Owls, and really it's come from being able to get some good positioning, some shots that they like. In the first half, they didn't get too many shots that they really liked. They got the shots they were given, whereas now they're getting the ones they want.
Yeah, that's right. They've made a little adjustment, I think, to their offense, and it's to do with the timing of when they pass the ball, when they make offside cuts, and they're looking for those mismatches a little better now. And it's really brought Edwards and Perry back into the game, really, and hopefully Fraser's come to the party as well now as he's hit that little easy layup finally. Got a game on our hands.
Brown ready to inbound and get us back underway as we tick down towards the midpoint of the third quarter here in the Premier League final. Sorely shot, front rims, and again they can take another little bite out of this lead.
Towering rebound there from Jack Perry.
Bridge, he's got some room. His shot is short and well chased in by Smith.
Yeah, they clearly got a plan to let him shoot. I think that wasn't a hard jump by any standards.
Here's Brown. Back to Smith. And only their second basket of the first 5 minutes of this second half. And the Steelers lead by 5.
Nice basket there from Tom Smith. He comes into his own in that position.
Bridge into, oh, nice block by Fox. They still have it, 2 on the shot clock. Oh, what a finish that is. Tough shot from Perry.
Wow, that was just fantastic. Worth a replay, really. I mean, goodness gracious, what a shot from Jack Perry that was under such pressure.
Nice shovel pass and stolen away. Here comes Edwards. Has Williams with him. Inside to Fraser. Ooh. Nearly made it a 1-point game, but now they have to recover on defense.
Yeah, we see that his, I think 2 from 8 in the game has really been the difference in this, but they're still only 3 to behind.
Here comes Bridge. Bridge into the paint, back out again. It's a log jam over on the far side.
Yeah, someone's going to have to throw a bucket of water at these 3 at the baseline there. But we see distinctively from Sheffield, whenever Edwards or Perry get the ball, it's a hard jump. There's no compromise. They're getting out to them. Whereas when Bridge gets the ball, they're hedging. It's a hedging jump, seeing if he can make the shot, seeing if they can make him make a decision. Clear tactic from their part.
Perry, mid-range shot. Oh, but in. And here's Brown trying to weave his way around, and little tap of the chest from Perry to say, yeah, I got him on that one.
Yeah, I think it was a smart foul. They were away to the races at the other end. Tom Smith was in, I believe, and Jack Perry just makes sure that Harry didn't add to his assists on that occasion.
Brown to McSorley. Rims out. Fraser with the rebound. Once again, they've got a chance to cut it to a 1-point game. Perry off the glass. It's down to 1.
Those are the shots that Jack Perry hits day in, day out. They weren't able to get out to him this time.
Well,
pay.
That was an ambitious pass. And for the first time since the early stages of this ball game, when they scored the first 5 points, the Owls can take the lead here. Bridge drops it off. Edwards throws it cross court to Perry. Front rims tipped out. Brown is chasing after it. Brown has got the good position and they can't stop him. Great play.
Just electric place there from Harry Brown. I think he even gave him a couple of yards and still made it in front of him there, in front of Billy Bridge. Difficult man to stop once he turns the burners on.
Edwards with the shot. Well, you just wonder whether Sheffield might have weathered the storm here. Just get a sense, and there's going to be a foul. You just get a sense that momentum might be shifting back Sheffield's way.
Yeah, quite possibly so. They were going through a bit of a bad patch there, weren't they? A couple of breakaways there has helped them maintain a little lead at least.
Sorley over to Brown. Brown still going. Brown, oh, all the way through the lane. Ends up out of his chair. Not happy about it. Play continues. It's 5 on 4. Can they take advantage before Brown gets back? Here's Bridge. No is the answer to that. Fox saves it, but Williams will get there. Over to Bridge. Perry. On to Edwards. Edwards. Fox pass to Brown again, trying to dance his way through the lane, and again he ends up on the floor.
Yeah, 2 players on the floor. Dan Fraser at half court, so they'll need some heavy lifting equipment to get him back in again, in the form of Edwards and Bridge.
Here's another look at Brown trying to get through the lane and ended up on his hands.
I think he was hoping for the foul there,
yeah,
wasn't
he? Was,
which never came.
Good hands from Brown to deflect that away. Ball goes out of bounds. There's 6 seconds remaining on the shot clock.
Yeah, he could have done with a little dribble to his left there, Billy Bridge, just to give himself a bit of space between him and Harry Brown. Probably would have had a shot from the top there.
Oh, he wasn't quite in. Bridge had come in from the sideline, but he hadn't got his wheels over the line.
Yeah, that was careless. That was really careless.
So there's basically one offense left. There's half a second between shot and game clock. Brown. Smith drives in, gets the points on the board. There might be a chance for Oldham to go quick here.
Nice little move there, Tom Smith.
Gonna heave up the 3 on the buzzer. Offensive foul, the call. So 1 second. Just some clarification as to whether it was an offensive foul or not, because they're over the limit. I'm sure the signal was an offensive foul. So as it's an offensive foul, there's no free throws. Brown clearing himself some space so he can throw this the length of the court. And he does to Fox. Smith, sorry, who hooks one up on the buzzer. Well, it was a good third quarter for the Owls. They managed to get some offense going, but Sheffield will still go into the fourth quarter with a 5-point lead.
Yeah, they missed a couple of tricks there, did Oldham. I mean, they certainly shaved a bit more of that lead in that third quarter, but just weren't able to capitalize on it and maybe just go ahead themselves while Sheffield was struggling to score. But Sheffield got back into the game, managed to get a few scores just to give them that little bit of breathing space, albeit 5 points. But I think, in summary, I think a good job by Oldham, a good holding job, and they managed to get back into it.
Well, the question always is that when you get down 15 as they were, and you fight your way back into the game and you get it back to 1, do you go, oh, we've done it, and just ease off for a split second and it goes away from you again? Or can you go for that second time and push ahead and get yourself in front?
Yeah, I think they're probably a bit too experienced to have really taken their collective feet off the accelerator. But yeah, they have struggled to score throughout the match. They just had that little golden period, didn't they, towards the end of the second and then the beginning of the third. And Sheffield also had a bit of a dip where they were struggling to score, but they found their scoring form again. So we'll see now, 5 points to claw back.
Well, 10 minutes to go here. And the two teams come out for the last quarter of the final. Possession arrow favors the Owls. So they will get the opening possession, trying to cut it back to a one-shot game. Perry working with Fraser. His radar's just been off for most of this game. Thrown out long to Brown.
His day today.
Surely, it certainly has been his day. He's the game's leading scorer with 16.
Yeah, he's just had a great game today. Easily the best player on court, in my opinion.
No, my correction, Perry's got 18, so he's his team's leading scorer. Here's the game's leading scorer. And he's trying to add to that, but Brown with the rebound. Going all the way, lays it in. Well, he just coasted for a little bit, waited to lull the defense and then attack.
Yeah, nice job there by Harry. Just saw it all opening up in front of him. Took the layup.
And again, that's forced barely a minute into the fourth quarter, sorry. Forced them into an early timeout, certainly earlier than Coach Johnson would have wanted to call it, because that funny thing, momentum has drifted away from them. You think back, it was 3 minutes to go. They had the ball. They were down 1 and a chance to take the lead. At that point, the score was 40-39. So the last 8 points have all been scored by Sheffield.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, they had it, but the pattern of the game suggested that they would come back again. They just have too many ways of hurting you. And Oldham just haven't been able to. Their finishing's been poor inside. I don't like being critical of Dan Fraser, because normally he's such a solid and reliable player, but today he's not lived up to the standards which he has set, not which standards I'm imposing on him. I'm sure he'd be the first to say that. And Edwards has been a little bit under the weather scoring-wise as well, to be fair.
Oh, good hands from Conroy to steal it away. She has Brown with her, dumps it off to him, and he will lay it in, and all of a sudden the lead is back into double figures.
Yeah, it's just those easy little transitions that Steelers will get with the electric pace of Harry Brown. Nice play there from Amy Conroy as well, playing her part in that particular phase. Leads up to 11 all of a sudden.
Bridge, given the shot, doesn't make it. Smith with the rebound. McSorley.
Falls short for a change for James McSorley.
Foul called on Fraser. That's not going to lighten his mood any. His third. His fourth. Yeah, third. I was right first time. Brown lets fly from long range and is quite a ways off the mark.
Yeah, I don't think he had his heart in that shot.
Just got that ball over the line in time. Bridge. It goes to Perry. He converts.
Again, you see nice
20.
ball movement, draw the defense, and then an offside cut.
Long outlet pass. Fox just about controls himself to lay that one in.
Beautiful control there from Ben Fox. It matched the beautiful pass from Tom Smith.
Sorley with a little bump there. Perry now knocks down the shot. Still hanging about here, the Owls. Unsportsmanlike foul, the call. Perry whacking in before the ball was there. So it'll be 2 and possession.
Yeah, possibly a bit harsh call there by the referee. I think, you know, 2 high pointers in the key. I might have been tempted to let that one go, but they have the whistle.
No, he misses them both. So in some ways the unsportsmanlike doesn't really hurt them. The Steelers had the ball anyway. Brown. Late in the shot clock for Fox. His shot rims out. Edwards with the rebound. Edwards, back out to Perry. Perry throws it cross court to Bridge. Again, Sheffield, look how quick they are out on the break. It's 3-on-1. McSorley drew the defense, found Conroy. And Brown with the rebound initially, stolen away. Williams forward to Bridge. Edwards over to Perry. Great rebound from Laurie Williams inside. Edwards got caught, and the basket will count. He'll go to the line for a bonus.
Well, they're going to need a lot more of that. They really have to up their scoring. 5:44 left in the fourth. 7 down, so it's not beyond them. There's a lot of time left, but they need to get this scoring machine working again to Oldham. 1 or 2 of their players have been struggling, leaving the burden of scoring with Edwards and Perry, which makes it easier for the Sheffield defense to target them.
Ooh, nearly an offensive rebound. In fact, it's a hell ball, but the possession arrow favors the Steelers. Good play from the Steelers.
It's been a steady player throughout the game.
Oh, nearly a turnover. McSorley's trying to come up with it. They just about keep that, the Owls. Bridge driving through. On it goes. Edwards with the shot. Strings that one. They're still hanging in there, the Owls. But they need another big run to come here in this last 5 minutes. They've got to come up with some defensive stops.
Yeah, they need to stop old Sheffield from scoring.
Well, they get one there. Perry off to Williams. Williams shot off the mark. Brown has raced off down court, but well marshaled that time by Perry. Smith banks one in for 2.
He's been steady all throughout the game as Tom Smith. Just when they've needed baskets, he's the one that's got himself into those positions and hit those little baskets.
14 points and 10 rebounds for him. Make that 11 after that one.
Edwards missed another relatively comfortable shot there.
It's 4-on-4 momentarily. Here's McSorley. Bridge is gone. Can McSorley get to the ball first? Yes, he can. Good recovery.
Great bit of recovery there from James McSorley, despite the fact that the pass was a little bit short.
Cross it comes to McSorley, and he's certainly done very well from that position today. 18 points for him. He's 9 of 17 shooting. And he's certainly played his part in this. And once again, just when Oldham looked like they might be getting the momentum, Sheffield come out, bang, 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 2 or 3, 4 baskets, and the lead's back to double figures.
Yeah, and it's been McSorley and Smith that really have led the way in those little comebacks that you're talking about. And Oldham continue to struggle to stop them scoring for 2-3 offenses consecutively, which is what's needed, because they're not scoring well enough themselves. So it's no good 2-to-1 ratio scoring and stopping. They need like a 3-to-1, 4-to-1 ratio, which just, I don't know how they're going to manage that. Steelers are getting out on the break a lot more. Harry Brown's had a few breakaways. So it's a big ask.
It is a big ask, but with 2:26 to go in the previous meeting between these two teams last month, Sheffield led 62-53. And the final score was 62-64 to the Owls. They scored the last 11 points. So it's still, they've got that, haven't they, in their heads. That was only a month ago.
Well, that's right, yeah. I mean, that 15-point lead opened up when Jack Parry fell into foul trouble, and they had to sub him off for a significant length of time. And I think at that time in the season, Oldham were playing a lot better, as we see a turnover from Billy Bridge. I don't know that they're playing as well as they were whenever it was, a month or so ago, in order to win this game.
Fox underneath, can't convert, gets his own rebound. And he'll go to the line because he draws the foul. The basket will count. And, well, what they didn't need coming out of that timeout was to give up an and one.
Yeah, and here's the problem for Oldham, of course, is that if Smith doesn't get you, Fox will, and if he doesn't get you, one of the other two will. They're just little monsters who just keep biting away.
Here's Edwards. Bridge for 3. Rebound from Love. Good pass as well. There's a foul, but he can't convert. So he'll have to try and earn them from the line, Edwards.
You see the value of Robin Love when she plays at the top of the key. She's able to influence.
Foul there. Just lost him. He lost him from behind, first of all, and that's the 5th and final foul on Fox. He leaves the game with 16 points and 8 points and 11 rebounds to go with his 5 assists.
Yeah, he's done a good job. Good day's work for Ben. On comes Jim Palmer, who's equally tenacious in defense, if not quite as tall. Let's see if that makes a difference there. They're a little bit shorter without Ben Fox. Could make a difference. Could be a way for Oldham to exploit this team.
Although they're running out of time here with just 2:40 left in this final. Some full court pressure from the Owls. Oh, good steal. That's exactly what they needed from Perry. Needs some help now and doesn't find it. Smith with the steal right back.
Forced that did Harry Brown with a fine piece of defensive positioning.
Nice pass, and Brown there with what feels like a dagger with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, it's a bit of a hill to climb now, I fear. Time is against them.
Edwards, he's up to 20. Perry with 22, Edwards with 20. Provided the bulk of the offense for the Owls.
Yeah, they need to get within touching distance, so that even if it goes to a fouling game, that they have a legitimate play towards the end of the game.
McSorley. Well, basically they can't concede any more points, and they get a stop there.
Yeah, that ratio of scores to stops has gone up again, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's gone to no scores,
Yes.
all stops and lots of scores. Got there in the end. And time now running out, and it looks like the Steelers are going to see this one home. It was a good effort from the Owls, particularly in that third quarter, to fight it back. But with 1:09 to go and a timeout called, it seems very unlikely that this prize is going anywhere other than to the Steelers.
Yeah, I think even at the start we had them down as favourites. I think Oldham would have had to probably play to the form that they had maybe a month ago. You know, they've come back from Europe, and maybe a little bit of fatigue, a bit of mental fatigue as well, creeping in. It's just been a little bit too much for them over 40 minutes to live with the Steelers, who have so many more offensive options. 4 of their team in double figures. Only 2 players for Oldham in double figures. Probably tells the tale.
Well, you never know in sport. Go out there and play hard for the last 1:09 and see where the buzzer is at the end of it.
It's exactly what they'll do, but I think Oldham they've unloaded their bench.
Yeah, I think that's an admission from Dan Johnson.
So on comes Stephen Rainey, Matt Craig, Wayne Boardman and Rob Love.
Well, that's the 5th foul of the quarter on the Owls, so it'll be 2 free throws. Well, he's played his part in this game. Harry Brown, 18 points, but he's been involved in so much more. Such a busy player. Oh, big collision with Love there at the top. And Robin Love has a look at the 2 officials. And well, Dan Johnson let his view be known from the other end of the floor. Here's another look at it.
Well, you could argue, I mean, she wasn't exactly sitting still. They were both moving forward. So perhaps the referee got it right that time, but, you know, with the benefit of the replay.
$17 for Smith. Pass out in front. Here's Edwards. Nice pass to Love, and she lays it in for 2.
Yeah, gets an easy 2 there, Rob Love. Nice little pick and roll with Edwards.
Here's Conroy. And, well, they're in foul mode. The problem is you're already down 11.
Yeah, they needed to have reduced that gap, and then legitimately they could have had a player going into foul mode. But again, Steelers at the line, I would have thought, between them. Having said that.
Well, they haven't shot that well from the free throw line today. I think that's fair to say. And Amy Conroy comes up with nothing.
Bit of a quiet day at the office, Amy, today.
Yeah, that early
On and
foul
off a little
trouble.
bit, hasn't
Yeah.
she? Yeah.
That early foul trouble threw her out of her rhythm. Edwards out to Love. Inside and batted away. Still playing defense in the last 20 seconds, Harry Brown. Sorley comes down with the rebound. The shot clock is switched off. Well, Robin Love going to make them work hard for it, and they actually turn the ball over. So the Owls are going to finish with the ball, but they're going to finish on the losing side because the Sheffield Steelers have won this one. They've won the championship by 64 points to 53.
Nice game to watch, I guess, overall. Oldham will be disappointed with their performance, especially at the offensive end. They missed a few shots and a couple of turnovers and didn't quite have their offensive boots on today, so they'll be a bit disappointed. But Sheffield, I think, are a really tough team. They've just got too many weapons that they can hurt you with, and they just keep coming at you, scoring and scoring and scoring. So Oldham shouldn't be too disappointed, perhaps. It was an uphill task from the beginning, perhaps.
Well, the other thing about Sheffield is they didn't get phased when the momentum started to go against them. There were 2 or 3 times in the game where it looked like, oh, Oldham might just have enough here. And then every time they got close enough, there was a response from the Steelers. They found a way to get the scoreboard ticking again and to get themselves the victory.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect them to get phased, to be honest. None of these players are sophomores. They're all experienced at various different levels, whether it be here, abroad, as juniors, as seniors, in the women's team. So, they've all played in big games, so you wouldn't expect them to be phased by that little mini comeback that Oldham managed to put together.
And some tremendous performances. I mean, you touched on it. 4 of the starting 5s in double figures. I thought McSorley shot the ball really well. Smith had a great all-round game through 17 points and 13 rebounds. Just some good performances from some good players.
Yeah, really good. Harry Brown and Ben Fox had good games too, but I think Tom Smith particularly, he's just one of those quiet players. He's not that loud, he's not that flashy, he just gets to where he's got to get to and he nails those shots. But for me today, James McSorley just was a class above everybody else on court in his use of space and his shooting, and defensively he never lets you down defensively in any case. But I thought he had a great all-round game today.
Well, they're just going to set up now for the presentation party as the Premier League final champions are the Sheffield Steelers once again for 2019. And while they're going to enjoy themselves tonight, no doubt about that. And we touched on it a little earlier, but 34% from the Owls. Fraser with his 2 of 10, Bridge 2 of 12. They struggled to get really good shots, and that was probably the difference. Because if you keep Sheffield to 64, you have a chance of beating them. It's not a guarantee, but you have a chance. But you're going to struggle to beat a team of the caliber of Sheffield with only 53 on the board.
Well, that's right, and add to that, Dan, 15 turnovers in the game, which is uncharacteristic for Oldham because they're also comfortable on the ball and well drilled. And 15 turnovers in the game is an indication of how much pressure that Sheffield are able to exert on the offense. Just they're so mobile and they have that length as well, which really puts Oldham out of their comfort zone. They were having to do other things. Yes, they were able to pull it back in periods and show what they can do, but over the course of 40 minutes, they found it a little bit too hard, and Sheffield had just a bit too much for them.
And the other thing, you mentioned those turnovers, such is the speed of Sheffield. They managed to turn those 15 turnovers into 19 points, and 19 out of 64 is a big old chunk.
Well, there you go. That's what you get when you have people like Harry Brown on court, who he's just so expert at just getting out on the break. Such a great finisher as well. So yeah, they made them pay with those turnovers as well. So there's the tail of the tape right there, I think.
Well, two teams now being asked to line up for the medal presentation.
So another season has come and gone in the competition.
And you have to say, over the course of the year, that Sheffield have been the best team through. They obviously topped the league table, and it's no surprise to see them here at the end of the season celebrating once again.
Yeah, I think they're deserved winners, really. As you say, throughout the regular season, bar that one game which they lost to Oldham very narrowly by 2 points, that they've shown that they just have too much for everybody else, including Oldham overall. So, you know, deserved victories, I think.
And the fans in the house giving the Owls a little round of applause to appreciate their efforts, not just today, but across the course of the campaign. And Philip Wilson, the chair of British Wheelchair Basketball, makes his way out to the table as he gets ready to present the medals and the trophy.
Lots of highlights throughout the game. Unfortunately, there can only be one winner. But this year's runners-up and worthy runners-up, please give it up. Make some noise for the Owls.
And the Owls, runners-up in 2019, and they will receive their medals. Well, they're supposed to be in numerical order, and
They're not in the mood, are they?
no, it's one of those things when you end up on the other side, you just want to get yourself out, get changed, and get out of here.
Yeah, they'll be looking forward to Lumbongo tonight. Other mixed fruit drinks are available.
Indeed. Well, Billy Bridge already got his backpack. He's ready to go. He's going out the emergency exit, I think. Here he comes. Well, the last of the medals to be handed out, and then we can turn our attention to the other end of the floor and the champions.
But now, ladies and gentlemen, your 2019
And now the chance for the Steelers to receive their medals, and a big round of applause from the crowd. And Amy Conroy goes up first to receive her medal. And a great moment for everybody on the team getting their medals, and then they will finally get their hands on the big old trophy. It's a big trophy. And it will be the captain, Mark Schofield, who will come up last to receive the trophy. And he gets a shake of a hand and the medal. Coach Hayes gets his medal as well. Oh, they're going through the coaching staff. I thought they were going to do the trophy the way to set it up there, but now we will get ready for that. And the 2019 champions are the Sheffield Steelers. And he's going to come to the front of the team lineup and celebrate with his team. And the trophy goes aloft. The ticker tape flies for the champions. Tremendous performance for the Sheffield Steelers. They've gone through the whole campaign with just one defeat. And while Oldham gave them a few scary moments today, but they always look the likely, and they thoroughly deserve this.
Yeah, quite right too. They've proved once again that they are the best around throughout the regular season and in this final. So I don't think anybody can argue with that.
Well, there's plenty more basketball to come tomorrow here from Sheffield, where we will have the other division finals. But the Premier League champions are the Sheffield Steelers. They've beaten the Owls by 64 points to 53. For JJ, I'm Daniel Routledge. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again very soon. Goodbye.